One of our core values are inquiry, integrity, kindness, and belonging. You may see them in the classrooms that you pass by today and the hallways because we've plastered them everywhere. And I'd love to hear from a few of you, what do you feel is your most meaningful core value to you? Yeah.
Okay, I think the most important to me is inquiry, because I came to BB&N to learn and to explore new opportunities. And here, that's just never ending.
I would say my favorite core value is belonging. I remember when I came to the open house and was, touring BB&N, I just met so many lovely people, especially on my revisit day. And it was just like so nice to think that I could find a community here of people that I knew would accept me for who I am and that I would just build lovely relationships with.
I would say kindness, I think. I think at our school, there's this culture where you say hi to people in the hallway, whether they're in your grade or if you have overlapping activities. That kindness, I think, is the overarching value. And also, I'm, as a peer counselor, I think there's an emphasis on supporting your peers. And when you're in a school community that's rigorous and that challenges you, I think it's important to have students who are kind and supportive. So I've really valued that.
Dylan took my response, but I would say belonging, because I came to the school as a 9th grader. I came to BIV late, 7 days late. Mr. Chapman can tell you all about that. But when I came to this school, I didn't know anybody, and the school was really tiny, and I was like, oh, I'm not going to belong here. But the community really welcomed me, students, teachers, and I felt like I really got to know everyone. I feel like everyone's like a cousin to me. I know all the teachers' names. I know their pets. And I feel, yeah, just the little things. And I feel like BB&N just really takes the time for students to build strong relationships with each other. But yeah.
Wonderful, thank you all. So when I talk with people about BB&N, there's always a conversation around the various opportunities that our students have. And so I'm wondering from some of you, what are some of the opportunities outside of the classroom that you've taken advantage of during your time here? What have you learned from these opportunities?
As of right now, I've been taking advantage of the club opportunities as well as the social opportunities pertaining to sports. I personally really love my cross-country team, and I think that they're a great community and a great group of guys and girls to be around. So going to social events with them, going to team dinners is always really fun. I never had that at my old school, so it's kind of nice to know that there are social events outside of school that I can connect with other people in different grades. And for clubs, I think I'm able to reach into interests that I haven't explored before. And I think that being able to have the opportunity to explore those potential interests is an important part of what makes BB&N so special.
Yeah, so my time here at BB&N, I've taken advantage of a lot of opportunities that BB&N has given. So my freshman year, BB&N offers a lot of trips that you can take for languages and arts. So I went to Taiwan with some kids from my Chinese class, and it was a great opportunity to be immersed in the culture and in the language. We had to do a homestay, which is a terrific experience. And so I've also taken advantage of a lot of clubs that BB&N offers. So I'm the VP of the Investment Club, which is a club for kids that want to learn how to invest and are interested in financial careers. And I co-founded the Public Health and Healthcare Management Club this year at BB&N as well, which is a club that kind of wraps up public health and healthcare management for kids that might not know too much about it or interested in the field. And also within the school, I am one of the co-chairs of the peer tutoring program, which is a program for students that might be struggling in a particular subject and might want a little bit more help. They'll be paired up with someone that might have already taken a class and is very confident in this subject. And it's a great opportunity for students that want help. So BB&N offers a lot of opportunities for leadership and learning and
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Adding on to that, I feel like I can't even keep track of all of the opportunities that I've engaged in because I think BB&N really values multifaceted students. Like you're talking about your exchange trip. I took an exchange trip to Spain last spring. I loved it. I feel like I gained a second family. I learned so much about the culture. So I was able to explore language through that. I also am part of a lot of clubs, whether they're affinity clubs or interest clubs. I'm the president of Latino Hispanic Student Association. I'm a member of the Jewish Cultural Club. And then I also am president of Mock Trial Club. So clubs are an opportunity to engage throughout many interests, and also I feel like I've gotten to know people across grades. Obviously there's sports, there's music. I'm a singer, so I've done a cappella, chorale, all of that stuff. And obviously I've also done a lot of stuff in BB&N admissions, which has been really fun for me because I remember applying for BB&N and now I'm on the other side of it. So it's nice to see all of you. And yeah, it's a few things.
So I've also taken part in a few things in my start of BB&N. The first one is SASA, the South Asian Student Association. That has been such a great place to get to know people who come from similar backgrounds as me and really just find a sense of community there. Furthermore, I am on the student council, which is so fun because we get to plan events and things like that for the student body. And finally, I'm on the JV volleyball team, which is really an amazing space because if I'm having a rough day, I know that at the end of it, I can go to a place where I can play the sport I love with people I love.
Awesome, thank you all. At BB&N, it's really important, it was referenced in our first question, that our students develop really strong, authentic connections with trusted adults. And those include their teachers, but also their advisors. Our students get an advisor in 9th grade, and then they get a second advisor in 10th grade that will stay with them until they graduate. I'd love to hear from some of you about your relationship with your advisors or your teachers in general. What have those connections been like?
Yeah, so I think one thing that BB&N does an amazing job of in terms of, like Abby touched on, peer and also teacher support, just with things going on, whether it's stuff going on in life, whether it's stuff going on in academics, like there's always somebody there for you. And I'm just so grateful that I have that in my teachers. So last year, my Spanish teacher was was Miss Rose, who I love. She's such a lovely person and was always there to talk to if there was something going on or if I needed help with Spanish or something like that. And then luckily, she's also my 10th grade advisor. So just to have had that connection with her before and then now to get to further it, it's just been so amazing. And furthermore, she's just someone who's always there for you. And I think that's such an amazing thing that our advisors are kind of like somebody that you have in your corner. There's, obviously a lot of challenge and rigor, which is so amazing, but sometimes you just need somebody there for you. And I think it's so amazing that every student has that.
Yeah, so my advisor is my geometry teacher in 10th grade, Mr. Ronson. So he's a super nice guy. He's always there to help out if I need to. He's always there to support me. And I think what's great about the advisor system is they're there for you. Whenever I bring him like a success during our meetings, he's always like, great, what's next? Like he's always there to push me to do better and become a better person for the community and for myself. And in terms of teachers, like I'm very close with a lot of my teachers. And what's good about like small class sizes, you can build like a really genuine connection with a lot of your teachers and get to know them and that helps you like in the classroom and learn better.
I would say my relationship with my advisors has been phenomenal. So I had Ms. Casso in 9th grade and Mr. Sinet from 10 to 12. It's been an awesome relationship because when I came to BB&N, it was a hard transition because I came from public school. And I felt like Ms. Casso really made it easier for me. She like really wanted to get to know me. She like build those really close relationships to not really to understand me more as more than just a student, but as a person. And I felt like she's like on to me, and she's just like, Lorenzo, how's your mom? How are you doing? Kind of thing. And I feel like it's just those little things that really impacted me from 9 to 12 as a student here at BB&N. And even Mr. Sinet, he even helped plan a reservation for my mom's birthday. And I was like, it's like really the little things. And relationships with my teachers has been great as well. It's just you have these free blocks and you can go to their office hours and meet with your teachers and just really understanding the curriculum. And since the classes are pretty small, I feel like the teachers really get to know you. Like they know what sports you're playing again, as I mentioned before, and they're like, oh, you got a game going on? Oh, can I go or something like that? And just like if I had a test or I'm really stressed out, the teachers just really understand me and really can support me. And I feel like BB&N does a really great job at managing those two things.
Obviously, I'm in 9th grade, so obviously I don't have a lot of ground to stand with my advisor because I haven't been here for very long. But what I can tell you is that they are super supportive, as well as our teachers. I recently switched out of classes, and my advisor and my previous math teacher both helped me excel and make the changing process easier. And I think that support goes to show that the people around you want to help you and want to see you succeed. And I think those teachers and advisors wanting to see you succeed is why they do their job so well.
Awesome. Those are, thank you all for sharing that. I think I speak for myself, but hopefully for many of our teachers, administrators, and staff here, that advising is one of our favorite parts of our job, getting to work with each of you. So now we've gotten to the point where we're going to take some audience questions, and then we'll come back and close out with a final question. But I'd love to open the space up to the audience. So parents, guardians, or especially prospective students, what questions might you have that our panel might be able to answer? Yes.
Do you guys have any big challenges you had to overcome in your first year or two of BB&N?
Yeah, so I came in 9th grade, and I would say it was just an adjustment generally of, coming to a new community, obviously. But I think touching back onto what I said about belonging, so you guys have probably heard of it, but we have this amazing thing called Bivouac, which does an amazing job of integrating the students, whether they've been here since beginners, when they were like 4, or whether they're coming in when they're like 12, 13. So I just think just coming in and hearing some of my other friends who are at other high schools where they felt kind of like everything was cliquey and they had a hard time finding their people. I just have never had that issue, and I know a lot of other people feel the same, of just, feeling like those connections that you make at Bivouac in the first 10 days carry on not only academically, but through the years, and just really helps you make those connections.
I would say the course load for me, because coming from public school and especially after COVID, it was kind of hard for me to kind of adjust to getting into such a rigorous class. And I felt like it took me a while to adjust to that, but I felt like my teachers really supported me through that. And I had the academic learning center, which is over there, and they kind of gave me the tools that I needed to kind of manage my time better, how to study, and yeah. And then I would also say, what else? Course load, and yeah, just adjusting to BB&N as a whole. But I feel like after your teachers and advisors really help with that, so over time everything just comes together, I feel like.
Oh, yes.
I think he touched upon a bit. I'm wondering, in terms of your transition academically, how did you feel about the course load, rigor in the classes, or did you see a difference going from middle school to high school?
Yeah, so for sure, BB&N is definitely a very academically rigorous school. But BB&N gives you a lot of resources to do well, and BB&N all your teachers really want you to do well. They're always there to meet with you. BB&N has an open door policy for teachers, so they're always willing, if they're free, they're always willing to come help you out if you have any questions whatsoever. And they're super supportive, and they understand that it could potentially be a very hard transition from where you came from before. So, but I think BB&N is very understanding and provides you a lot of tools to do well.
Yeah, and I'll just add on to it. As a senior now, we obviously are very busy with college stuff, and I've gotten used to BB&N's workload. I feel like I've been supported, but even as a senior, even as I've gotten these tools, kids get overwhelmed. It's a lot to manage college stuff and to manage a school like BB&N. I love that BB&N challenges me. I think it's helped me grow a lot, but it can be difficult. But I've noticed, especially this year, a lot of kids have been emailing teachers, reaching out. The teachers want you to succeed, and they are going to accommodate for you. So I think, to me, that's really important. So just my most recent experience, that's what comes to mind.
I wanted to touch on this because I have a sister. She is a sophomore in college. She came to BB&N, and when she got here, it was obviously hard for her, and as well with my other sister too. But when we talked during the summer over about her year, my family talked about how BB&N really prepared her for her situation in college. She is majoring in neuroscience and aeros and physics. So obviously double majoring in two of the hardest majors is very difficult. managing also varsity tennis. I know Abby knows my sister. So I think that BB&N prepares students so well if you're willing to put in the work, but students are the ones that have to put that drive. Only the teachers can guide where you go, but the change and the drive starts with you.
Thank you.
Nice. That's a good quote.
Oh, yes.
So how are like the semester abroad?
So semester abroad programs.
Okay, I'll talk about my exchange trip to Spain. So this was really cool because I not only did the trip itself, but I was also a global exchange ambassador. This was really, guys, this is one of my favorite BB&N experiences, so I could talk about this all day. But basically, this global exchange ambassador program for the whole year, I did this last year, so for my whole junior year, we would have monthly meetings, we would prep presentations, about the art, the culture, the language, so we could come into the country and come into the experience prepared. And I think that's important to learn how to be a traveler that's going to be open instead of one that's more closed off. So I felt very well prepared. I went with a group of kids. I would say it's about like 15, 20 kids. We went to Spain. We spent a day going to school with our host families. Then I got to live with my host family. I got to hang out with her friends, with her family, go shopping. I love that. And that was great. And then she came here. So I honestly feel like I gained a family there. I talked to her all the time. So not only did I improve my Spanish a lot, but I created like a really, truly lasting relationship.
Yeah. One of my good friends did go on a semester abroad, his sophomore fall semester. He went on the Swiss semester, which is just, I think, from like September to December in Zermatt. He said, I think he had a great time. You're basically put in a hotel and you have classes and you'll go on like hikes, you'll go ski, and he really enjoyed it, being able to do school somewhere else and meet new people. So I also went on a spring break trip. My trip to Taiwan was, it was a very similar experience to hers. We would travel around. We spent 2 nights with the host family, going to school with them, going to night markets after with them. It was a really, really good experience. I think that like if you just went, with your family, I don't think that's something you would ever experience. I think that going on these trips for languages is a really, really good opportunity here at BB&N because you won't get that just traveling there.
Martha, I think we have time for one more question. Yes.
What's your favorite part about the BB&N community?
Oh, actually, that's really hard. I don't know. There's so many things. I think just the ways that everybody takes time to like be open and kind of be together. Like, for example, like in classes, so there's like a lot of overlapping like people that maybe you didn't see the year before or something like that, or you see people in clubs, or you see people in sports, or you went on like a semester away with them or something like that. There's just so many opportunities and places and like spaces and times that you can get together with different people. And so I think just in the ways that everybody really wants to be together and get to know each other, and there's like constantly new connections that you can make with people. I never feel like, oh, like this is like my group of people, like this is my friend group, and it's just like these few people. It's like I can name so many people from so many different groups, from so many different classes and clubs that I've just like built these amazing relationships with. And so I think that's something that also really goes along really well with the academic side of things, is just that like when you come here every day, it's hard and it's challenging, but you get to do it with people that want to see you succeed and that you want them to succeed. And it's like just a very supportive and loving community. Yeah.
I know you've heard this a lot, but seriously, community. I mean, as a freshman, who's new to BB&N, I never thought I would develop such a strong sense of community so quickly. From sports teams to clubs to just everyday life, BB&N has such a great community, and especially the people I've met on my sports team, which is probably my favorite. They're just such supportive, amazing people who you can just be yourself with and have fun.
I would say just being able to be around like-minded individuals. I feel like the school really pushes you in different ways. I feel like I'm surrounded by people who want to learn, who want to succeed, who want to do more. And I feel like being here, like I've pushed myself academically as well, but I feel like my friends are like, oh, come on, let's do this. You can you got this, just study, let's study together kind of thing. And I also feel like you can be authentically yourself here at BB&N, and I feel like you shouldn't be afraid of who you are, and I feel like everyone accepts you for who you are. And I feel like just being here, I've learned a lot about others and grown as a person as a whole. So yeah, thank you.
I just wanted to touch on coming back from BIV. Obviously, BIV is a very different environment than it is in school because you're constantly surrounded by your peers. So creating those friendships at BIV was important for coming back to academic life. But coming back from BIV, I was worried that those connections would die out because we weren't in that setting. Thankfully, I was proven wrong. All the people that I loved hanging out with at BIV, I got to see them more. I got to take classes with them. I had to have intellectual conversations with them and talk about whatever we wanted to talk about in between classes or during free blocks. I think that carrying over from BIV to school life was very important to me because it allowed me to see my community as not only my community but also as different connections and with different connections. Yeah.
All right. So we are almost out of time, so we'll just do this really rapid fire down the line. What would you like to share with students who are exploring BB&N? What's something that you'd want them to keep in mind?
I would want you guys to keep in mind bivouac because bivouac is such a dynamic experience. It's so unlike anything I've done before, and I think that putting yourself in those shoes is very important to grow not only by yourself but with others. And it's also very helpful with connecting with your community because if we didn't have BIV, I would have to connect with those around me in a school setting. And I found that very daunting when thinking about it over the summer. So I'm glad I picked BB&N because it allowed me to make these connections in a very dynamic, very different environment.
I would say food. Sorry, I'm a little hungry right now, but more, I would say food. The food is phenomenal here, one. But I'd also say clubs because I feel like just doing clubs at BB&N has taught me a lot about myself and has pushed me to get outside my comfort zone. And I feel like with having clubs after school, I felt like I got to meet people that I wouldn't talk to normally. So yeah.
Yeah, if you guys were to explore something at BB&N, I would say definitely the teachers. Talk to as many teachers as you can. If I were to try and pick, some of the best, most influential teachers I've had here at BB&N, I would have to pick between 5 or 6 of them. And the fact that it's so hard for me to pick just kind of goes to show the kind of teaching quality that you have here at BB&N. I really encourage you to go talk to teachers.
I'll take this as a piece of advice to you guys because I remember being in your position. I would say in terms of how you're applying to BB&N, I think the most important thing is for you to be authentic. BB&N isn't looking for robots. They're not looking for people who all do the same thing. They're looking for people who can build to the community and add to the community in different ways that's authentic to them. And I've very much felt that personally. I feel like I've been able to flourish here, and I feel like I've developed into what I feel is really myself. So show that. I think you guys all have something to share, so share it.
Yeah, and just adding on to that of this community wants you, they love you. When you come here, it's so welcoming, and just for you to be your authentic self and feel safe and comfortable being who you are, that's how you become the person you want to be, the person you're going to grow into. That's how you meet the people that you're going to have relationships and friendships with the rest of your life. That's how you kind of just learn how to be a person. And so I think it's just amazing that, just kind of like what Abby was saying of being your authentic self and just, be you.
And let me finish this off by saying, jump in with both feet. Let the amazing academic social world of BB&N take you in. Because when you really look around, there are just so many opportunities. And, go to that club, talk to that teacher, try out for that position. Even if it's not for you, it will have been worth the experience to try.